Hi everyone, welcome to your Yourpedia and this is Shubhya. So these days, many banks like State Bank of India, Central Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, Punjab National Bank and so many other banks are hiring for the post of Specialist Officer. Now you have a sound knowledge about your own technical domain. But that is very important that you should be aware about the fundamentals of the banking system also. Now, how you can get the knowledge about these banking fundamentals, because that is too much. Now here I'm going to help you, because in this video, the ones who are preparing for Bank of Baroda, let me guide you that you need to be aware about some of the very important fundamentals, like the most important pointers which you need to understand and revive in your mind before you go for your final interview, which carries some of the essential details like about the history, when it was formulated, about the current management, the products and services which it provides, and the kind of number of branches it has, number of ATMs, the financial performances, the mission and vision part, and what else? The most expected HR questions that could be asked in your interview. So in this video, I'm going to guide all the aspirants of Bank of Baroda that this is a complete documentation which carries every highlight that is very important for you. Secondly, you can download the documentation by just going to your Yourpedia panel. In the download section, you get the complete documentation. This is documentation which carries all the highlighter pointers. You accentuate on the highlights, and other than that, there is a documentation which carries the most important HR questions also. Though I have given the brief list of HR questions at the end of this documentation too. Now let's get started and let me showcase what I carry for you in this documentation. So at the very first, you should be aware where it is headquartered at. Like I just have given you the documentation of PNB also. You all are aware that you should be giving a comparative analysis also. That it is also public sector bank. It has been merged after the 9 banks have been merged with PNB. And what else did you remember? That it was into, you can say, the incorporation. But that headquarter was in Dwarka in Delhi. Here it is Vadodara, Gujarat. It is the second largest public sector bank after SBI. The Maharaja of Baroda, now Sayaji Rao Gaikwad III, founded the bank on 20th July 1908. Now the ones who are belonging to Baroda and someone which is like, they can ask you some of the historical aspect. Do you know about who formulated this bank, when it was formulated? So that is a pinch of the interest. Like suppose in the panel, someone is there from the same state. The questions related to the state could be asked. Now recently the budget has been passed. So basically some questions related to that budget could be asked, that who you can say who presents the budget, how many times the finance minister has already presented it out, how much repo rate has been cut, or who is the current governor of RBI. So that is a brief knowledge which is being shared in the budget also. So just have a brief set of knowledge, because one single time you go for an interview, there are multiple domains that are being checked. Your personality related questions, organization related questions, your projects and internship related, the job experiences which you had, why you want to leave the organization, why you want to come to Bank of Baroda now. Then it could be any of the achievements or related to some kind of a case studies that could be asked to you to check your behavioral and aptitudinal skills. So yes, there is a wise testing of multiple domains. Practice it thoroughly. Now, yes, there are the certain important details like when it was founded, who founded it out, when was it nationalized along with 13 other banks, expanded internationally with its overseas branch in Kenya in 1953, and it merged with Dena Bank and Vijay Bank on April 1, 2019, and it became the second largest public sector bank in India after the first one, that is State Bank of India. Then, who is the current managing director and CEO? That is Sri Devdatta Chand. You just be aware about the brief list of the managing executive directors too. Now, what is a vision and mission? Now, every bank has a mission and vision on which it works. So, you see, when you are giving your answer that why you want to join the particular bank, you can also align your answer with the mission and vision on which the bank works. The mission is your short-term career, the vision is your long-term one. And what is the plan of long-term vision of Bank of Baroda? That is to be the most respected and preferred bank with a worldwide presence. And mission is to be top-ranking bank with global presence and customer-centric approach. Now here it is like total branches, total offices and domestic, zonal offices are, regional offices, corporate and head office. Only for your understanding it is being there. The products and services on which it burns, retail banking, digital banking, corporate banking, investment wealth management. I've already shared you that you should be aware about the differentiations also. like if I just ask you what is the difference between the payments bank and the scheduled commercial banks, so you should be aware about the every meaning which have been listed. Domestic subsidiary, where it is overseas subsidiaries, then it is the market share, so approximately 6.5% of total banking assets in India, then its presence, number of branches, everything is there in a tabular format. So this is just for your ease, because once you are reading the documentation, you download it out, keep on ticking the most important pointers which you have revived in your mind and something you feel in that. The financial performance is very important, that for the year 2024, 2025, in the year wise and the monthly wise, you should be aware. And then obviously you should be aware why it was a news these days, and don't forget to go through the website also, because sometimes they check about the logo, about the mission and vision, what's the tagline. All these things are very important for you to know, right? Now, what are the most expected HR questions that could be asked? Now, student feels, ma'am, introduction is very easy. We just have to tell about ourselves. But what is the difference between a 10th class student telling his introduction and you? If you're going to tell about your parents, about your hobbies, about your strengths and weaknesses, that's not required. True. Because you have done so much in your career, so much projects you have done. Talk about the things which you really want to mention, be it in the ascending or in the descending order, and link your projects to the banking sector. Because the second question, which will be that why you want to enter in Bank of Baroda as a senior manager or some positioning. Now, have you got an experience where you have already managed? You have to showcase your past experience. How do you handle stress and pressure, about your own strengths and weaknesses? What motivates you to perform well in your job? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? How do you deal with the employee who's underperforming, or the ones whose performance has reduced? So it is a case study type question, like two of the subordinates, they had a conflict, how you're going to resolve. So this is just a brief set of questions. I have already mentioned that the other set of questions in an expanded manner is there in another documentation. You can just check out that video, and where the documentation is there on your PDF panel. How can banks improve financial inclusion? So there are certain banking terminologies also which you need to be aware about. This is already explained in a brief manner about the savings account, current account, FD, RD, LAP, personal loan, because sometimes you are going to that organization but you're not aware about the basic terminologies. So RTGS में क्या difference है, NEFT क्या होता है, IMPS क्या होता है, two-factor authentication क्या है, check clearing क्या है, ECS क्या है, जो आपने already I would say that you might have read about all these terminologies, gold loan, you might have heard about the SIBs, mutual funds, share market and everything. But when it is a formal interview, obviously the words, the choice of words, the detailing should be very clear and crisp. All these things are there. Don't forget to read the important terminologies which are there listed in this. So green banking, Sukanya Smriddhi account, SCSS, Senior Citizen Savings Scheme, लॉकर फैसिलिटी प्रोवाइड होती है, ग्रीन पेन, व्हाट इज ग्रीन पेन, बैंक रेट क्या है, SLR, स्टैट्यूटरी लिक्विडिटी रेशियो, मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी कमिटी, नॉन परफॉर्मिंग असेट. सी everything is there whenever you're performing for any bank. I'll tell you, this terminologies are going to really help you out, and you need to have a thorough knowledge. So this was something in a brief manner. Obviously the expanded list of questions is there in another documentation. Don't forget to watch it out and download the documentation. All the best guys, prepare to the best, and this is a golden opportunity. Just practice through the mocks and HR sessions which you can revise your knowledge. Take care and have a good day.